Hello everyone, it's Sheila, and this week I'm going to be discussing negotiating your rates as a professional makeup artist. Also, you want to make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video because I have an exciting announcement and also some discounts to share with you all. So let's hop right into the topic. Negotiating rates, setting rates are all a part of being a freelance makeup artist, and in the beginning there may be a learning curve. So hopefully the knowledge that I am hoping to impart on you today will make that process a little bit easier for you as you're tackling that area of the business. So the first thing, which is actually quite interesting, is that women make substantially less than men because women are less willing to negotiate. It doesn't matter whether it's makeup artistry or corporate America. Women, for some reason, are less prone to negotiate or even step up to the plate and ask for what we deserve. So, keep that in mind, that negotiating is not a bad thing. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but I want to remind you, I forget who, but a great philosopher once said that everything you want is just outside your comfort zone. Everything that you want is just, it's going to be uncomfortable at first, but it's just a necessary evil that you have to get used to. So once you get used to it, you'll be fine. So these steps will hopefully aid you in that process. The first thing, it may sound corny, but you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to. Let alone is anyone else going to, believe that you should, that you're worth a certain amount if you don't believe you're worth it. So you have to convince yourself before you're able to go out and convince others. So it's hard at first because you may doubt yourself and you may be wondering, like, should I still be doing trade, or is it time to start? I want to make money, but that battle of I want to make money, but is it time yet? Am I good enough yet? So you have to just come to a place within yourself where you believe in your skills and abilities. The next thing that you want to do is determine your worth, and this is going to encompass a lot of different things. What I want you guys to do is get out a blank piece of paper and a pen, and what I want you to do is I want you to write down all your expenses as it relates to doing a gig, and these are going to vary depending on the project that you're working on, but it'll give you a general idea. So you want to write down how much transportation is going to cost you to go to and from this job. How much is gas? Gas here is like $4.20 a gallon. So those are things you have to consider when booking a job. I also want to consider, do you have to buy anything additional for the job? Those are all expenses that you need to calculate. You also want to calculate the usage of your existing supplies. You want to calculate that in there. As you do makeup longer, you're kind of figure out, how many applications you get out of certain products and things like that, and you'll be able to get a better number on that. Your time, many of you probably have husbands or kids. I don't have either, but I value my time too. And when you're away from your family and you're away from the things that you want to do with your free time, you deserve to get paid an appropriate price for that. So you want to take into consideration what you want for your time and your skill set. So once you have actually, put all the details in black and white, and it's much easier when things are in black and white for us to then, assess them and figure out where we need to adjust and, where we need to improve upon. It's easier for you to, negotiate once you have that, because what you're going to do is once you have that number, you'll be able to determine, at bare minimum what you want to make. You'll be able to figure out, what, if I don't get X amount, it's not worth me getting out of bed. It's not worth me opening my kit. You'll have to figure out that number, and by writing those details down, that will help you determine that number. So then you're better prepared going into the negotiation process. The next thing is you want to overshoot and understand. When I say overshoot, once you have that number, and that, like I said, the number is going to vary, depending upon the job, because different variables, one job may be further, you may have, different supplies, so those things are going to vary. But once you have that number, And I do, side note, always know what you're getting into before you quote a price. People love for you to just quote them a price. You need to know exactly what's going to be expected of you, how much time, the supplies, how many people, all that. You want to know that before you start spitting out numbers, so that you can, again, plug that into your calculations and be able to come out with a price. But overshoot. So whatever you actually want, you want to add a couple $100s to that price. So that's going to give you breathing room to negotiate. You never want to start with what you actually want to make, because you're going to be in for disaster. So you want to give yourself room to actually be able to engage, you know, prosper, you know, and engage and prosper in the negotiation process. The next thing is overshoot. Understand. We're all people. It's a little bit different when you work with larger companies, so we're all people. And one thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that, you know, you have that human contact with people, because even though, you know, we do this for a living, we want to make money at it, we're all human beings. And, you know, like if you're working with a bride and they're like, you know, they may not have, you know, a ton of money or whatever, but you want to work with them. You know, you got to be kind of understanding and let people know that, hey, you know, listen, you know, I understand, here's what we can do. And by giving yourself, though, that couple extra dollar amount of breathing room, you're able to have that negotiation room. So you can say, you know what, listen, you know, if that amount is too much for you, here's what we can do. I understand money is tight, don't worry about it. I value your business, and I really, you know, I value you, and I really want to have your business. So let's figure out what we need to do to make this happen. And so that way you're able to have that understandingness, though. So it's not just about, you know, I want X amount and I want it now. You know, it's not about that, but, you know, it's just a finesse that you have to go about doing it, and you'll figure that out. The next thing is to be willing to walk away. People are going to come at you with some ridiculous foolishness, some straight foolishness, and you have to be prepared to walk away from certain things. When you first start as a makeup artist, you want to, you know, do makeup on as many people as possible, and it's fun and new and fresh and exciting, and all that's great. But at some point, you know, when you get to the point where you're really trying to run a business and you're operating in the red, or you're operating at or below cost, that's a problem. That's going to create a problem for you to really be prosperous in your business. So, you know, sometimes if you negotiate with someone and, you know, they just don't have the budget, and that's another thing, you do want to figure out, before you spit out a number, you want to figure out how much they actually, you know, are willing to actually pay you first, because sometimes it may be more, sometimes it may be less than what you want. So you want to kind of get a handle on what they actually are willing to pay before you spit out numbers. But, you know, sometimes situations, it's just, you know, you don't want to let business get away, but sometimes if it's not going to be beneficial for you to do, you can't do it. You know, you just kind of have to, you know, leave it alone. And the last thing is be realistic. You want to definitely, you know, be realistic in what you're expecting to make off of any particular gig. It's going to depend on your demographics. You know, that's something else to take into consideration. A makeup artist in the Midwest may not make as much as a makeup artist on the West Coast or the East Coast or whatever. So you want to just kind of take that in consideration, that if you live in North Dakota, you may not make as much money as someone who lives in New York. So that's just something you have to take into consideration, and look at the climate in your area and kind of, you know, what's the going rate in your area, and kind of figure out where you fit into all that, whether it's above, you know, under, or in between. So I hope that was helpful for you all. If you have any questions on negotiation, please be sure to leave a comment down below in the comments, and I'll get back to you on that. And so now for my announcement. So a couple of you have already taken some of my classes. I've been tweeting about them on Twitter, and I really have been developing what I wanted to teach and all that type of great stuff. And so now I want to invite you all to come and take my How classes. They're online webcam classes, and I have a variety of different topics that are already listed, and I'm constantly adding new ones. But right now, in addition to the classes that I already have, I also have private consultations private one-on-one consultations. Some of you have asked me about those in the past, and now I am equipped to do them now. So I have those on there as well, and right now I'm offering 50% off any of my classes on Powwow. This offer ends on August the 11th, and I would love to have some of you guys take some of the classes, and also I would love if you guys to comment down below in the description box and let me know of any classes that you're interested in taking that you would like to see on my Powwow page. I would love to hear your feedback. I can't wait, and I look forward to seeing you guys in class as well as next week for another Pro Series video. Thank you for watching, and see you guys later. Bye.